The Unsigned Podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned Podcast episode, guess,
1
plus 16. 17, episode 17. Ooh. We're here, Rob's back as well, we're here again.
Yes.
And Manish is here too.
We have a microphone this time?
No, because we've got two guests coming in.
I see.
We have two guests coming in, so he only gets a mic if we only have one guest.
You have to shout loud this time.
There he is. So you're saying your journey was good then? Flew through
A12, M25, M11. I'm starting to learn the route now.
Well
Onto
done.
the 406.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Take a left at the big church.
Okay.
You kind of just go, no, I'm lost.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's
But I'm
good
getting
directions
there.
from
I
Chelmsford
reckon
to
I
here for
can
you.
find my way here now without the sat nav.
Good.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, we've been doing it
Maybe.
long enough now, haven't we, I suppose. How was your week? Sorry I didn't get to Castlemaine. How was that?
That was actually not just saying it. It was actually mental.
Was it?
It was busy.
Oh, cool.
It was a free gig.
Did Ollie actually go?
I texted him. I texted him that morning. I was like, mate, so this is the address. I'll pick you up. You could come with me. I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Do you need to answer that?
No, it's my dad calling me, right? So it's my dad Graham calling me.
Unbelievable.
Because he wants to talk to me about plans for something.
Oh.
And he goes, I'll call you later. And I knew it. I knew it. Dad, if you're listening, not at this time on a Tuesday.
This time, unbelievable.
Anyway.
You should know this.
Should.
So I text Ollie to look, I'll even pick you up. You've got no excuse. And that's me going out my way. No, it's en route, so I'll pick you up. You can have a drink. I'll get you a drink. There's free entry. You just got to turn up.
Yeah.
He texts back. Let me.
Because I listened to your show last night, and on Future Hits.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, it was a banging gig. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah." And you were like, "Oh, thanks so much for coming." I was like, "Did he actually go?"
He's not going. Like, what did he text me? He was saying so stupid that you just wouldn't be able to make it up.
Was it worse than mine? Because I was just honest.
No, so I texted him. Where was it? Oh, should have really planned for this, shouldn't I? Okay, so here it is. I sent him the poster. Blah blah blah. He came back with, I forgot I said I'd stay in with Mel as she's cat sitting. That's not even a joke. I'll FaceTime you. And he just sent me a video. You can put this on the video if you want of him with the cat. I was like, you are the worst fucking person I know.
Is he like really scared of his missus that he's not allowed out, or is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but I was like, come on. So I've just stopped asking him now. And what annoyed me even more is he's adamant he's coming to the Unsigned gig
Right.
at Hotbox.
Do you know why that is?
Because he's involved, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because it's about Ollie as well.
Exactly that, yeah. And but anyway, but no, Castlemaine was really good. I think where it's free entry, a lot of people turned up.
Yeah.
Really
Because you don't get many like free entry gigs, do you? Not really these days.
No, but the couple we've played recently, Castlemaine and
The one I came to, or not?
what was the one before that? We've done 2 free gigs. It was free entry. And they've been really busy. People come to watch.
Okay.
Golden Fleece.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I genuinely think there is something in that. I don't know how promoters are going to get their head around it. If you can agree a deal with the venue, free entry, but you take a certain cut of the bar, I think that's the way forward. If you want, because you get a busy crowd in there, the money that goes over the bars, a lot.
It would be definitely one for the venues and promoters to sort out, because I think that the way it is at the moment is the gigs that I've done and the ones that I'm looking at doing is all a case of, right, it's venue hire and then you take the door or whatever, or we won't charge you anything for the hire, we'll take the bar, you take the door. So I think potentially I might be barking up the wrong tree a little bit, but maybe in the older days it would be a case of, right, it's going to be £500 for the venue hire. Yeah. And then whatever. But I think these days they're realising they're not getting that many people through the door. And I think there are so many venues at the moment really struggling.
It's because ticket prices are stupid. For these, I'll put it in a nice way, for the smaller bands and the smaller promoters, I think people are still charging full price.
Well, you say that,
and not realising. That's just that's a band opinion, I guess you could say.
I understand that. I think I've learnt that lesson in regards to ticket prices. I think the first 2 events we've done were too pricey, but it's because my outgoings for that were pricey.
Cover costs, yeah.
Yeah, which we didn't even do. To be honest, on the first one we didn't, on the second one we did. So, it's a learning curve for me on that front. But I think that, if you're charging over a tenner I think it's very difficult for people to part with that amount of money at the moment.
I do, yeah, I agree. Because once you charge them the ticket price,
Yeah.
then you want them to have the 2 free drinks while they're there.
Yeah.
Before then, I'd done £50 on the night.
Well, me and Shah said that we went out for a certain gig, and people might be able to read between the lines here. But it was she had a Corona or San Miguel or something.
Was that the last gig you went to?
Potentially, but shush, because we're playing.
You talked about on the last
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. So basically, I had a Coke because I was driving, and she had San Miguel. It was like £11. And I was like, Jesus. Do you know what, right?
I think that's anywhere, though. I don't think that's the venue.
I was going to say that because I went to... So I'm in Wickford, like near between Chelmsford and Basildon, right? So we live there. And me and a friend of mine on Friday, right? So when you text me, or when I text you, I was like, right, we're going to go for a pint. I haven't really had a drink properly in ages because I've felt so rough after going to that I told you about it, the cricket stag do.
Yeah.
So I felt so rough after that I haven't really had a drink. And anyway, so we went down to, it was like Friday afternoon, and he was like, fancy a pint? And I was like, should we go out on our bikes? Because we haven't gone out on our bikes. So we ended up at the pub. And we had a pint, and we thought, and I already knew I was going to walk there because I already thought, might get the flavour. So I got down there, had a pint, and usually it's a Green King pub, right?
Nice.
So we usually get Green King, it's like £2.50 a pint, right? That was out. So I was like, I'll just have whatever IPA you've got. And it was, what was it? Icebreaker, I think it was. £5.50 a pint. 2 beers cost me £11 in Wickford. Like, fuck me.
It's all gone up. Everywhere's London prices.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
It really is. So, and I felt awful because I had 3 or 4 pints of that. I couldn't drink anymore. And then the next day I woke up quite hungover. So I should have come to the gig. I should have driven to your gig.
Should have done.
I should have had me Red Bull or whatever I had when I was at your other one.
But no, the gig was good. Kemi Queen, Witherbloom, Trash Monroe, female-fronted bands. It was a really good night.
Yeah. I saw Kirsty's photo of, there was 3 of them, wasn't it?
Here's a fun fact.
Go on.
That picture that we put on of Trash Monroe, Kemi Queen and Kirsty.
Yeah.
Jax Jones liked it.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw Kirsty's thing today.
I was looking at it, I was like, why? Like, he doesn't follow us.
Right.
How is he? All I can think of is, I thought, was he from Essex? No. I think he's from London.
Yeah.
All I can think of is maybe he's just clicked on the hashtag new music and just liked the first picture he saw. I really don't know. We followed him. He didn't follow us back. We thought it was like a...
Come on, Jax Jones.
We thought it was like, like a little teaser,
Do you think that he followed Trash Monroe?
Didn't look, to be honest. Didn't look. But no, the gig was good. What else has happened during the last week? Oh, I got one for you.
Go on.
Which I know you're going to be interested in. I joined another band. Well,
what?
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I've got band practice
For?
With Louise Parker, who came on.
Hey!
Yeah, who came on a couple of weeks ago.
We make things come true on this podcast.
We do. Yeah, so that's tomorrow.
Interesting.
Going to join her and her band for a playthrough to see.
Where's that?
Card Trick.
Oh, cool.
To see if it works or not.
Oh, nice.
So I've learned 1 song out of 13.
Is that in prep for her homecoming gig in October?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the intent of playing that with them.
Yeah.
And then whatever else pops up.
Oh, nice.
That'll be interesting. Something different. The songs, it's really hard to learn someone else's songs.
Completely different genre as well. Right?
Yeah, that I'm trying to get my head around because it's different to what we do. But with where it's our songs, I'm going to play it like this. This is the bass line. Don't like it. Fuck yourself, basically. This is how I wrote it.
She has already made that very clear when she was here and she was talking about the producer that she was working with. No, he doesn't touch. No, he does as he's told.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So you know what you're getting yourself into.
Credit to Louise. I said, can you send a few bits across? I've got a rough idea of how to play them.
Yeah.
Within seconds, Google Drive link comes through. Set list, first song, chord progressions or like a lyric sheet with the chords on it for that song.
Right.
Next song chords, and it's all there.
Wow.
So there's no excuses.
She does seem incredibly organised.
Yeah.
I remember you saying to me before she even came on, you were like, she is got all the posts sorted for the next however long.
Mm-hmm. But that's been my
that's
week
interesting.
So far. Trying to figure
I'd like. Do you know what? I'd like to see. Well, I will come to that gig anyway. But I am interested to see.
Well, I said that to her. I was like, you've done yourself out of a ticket there because I'm now going to be playing. I'm not buying a ticket for that.
No, well, if you're playing, but I would like to see because it's such a contrast from what you usually are a part of.
Yeah.
So it will be very interesting to see how that goes.
I've even borrowed another bass so I could play with it.
Oh, really?
So when we did the gig at Castlemaine, I kind of fell out of my guitar.
What do you mean you fell out of it?
It just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It just,
Okay.
I can't describe it. Like there was just something up. I was like, you're not sounding how I want. Did it sound when you came to see us? You're going to say no to be polite. It sounded very slap bassy, like the bass had gone from the bass.
I didn't notice.
That's
not me being polite. That might just be that.
I picked up in that gig. I was like, not sure. Then the gig on Saturday, I was like, just Friday. So I was like, just sounds wank.
Right.
And everyone else said, no, it's fine. I was like, I can hear it.
Yeah, if you can hear it and you've almost fallen, it's like, if you've fallen out of love with it, then you're going to,
Yeah.
I mean,
when we go to record on Saturday, we're going to Reading to record a new tune.
Yep.
It'll play a part in that because it's all going through the processes and whatnot. So, I've borrowed, I'm quite lucky that George's granddad is also a musician.
Oh, really?
And plays everything. It's stupid what he's got.
Right.
So I was saying to him, like, the issues I'm having is, you need to get yourself an active bass. I was like, I used to have one. Rubbish for recording. He was like, I got one upstairs. So he went and brought it down. It's Yamaha bass, which is lovely and perfect. He's like, have a jam with that for a few months. I was like, that'll do.
You have to stay in the good books now.
Yeah. So that's that. That is that.
Good. Sorry, I was just messaging.
No. You. If you want to talk to your dad,
it's not my dad. It's the band, isn't it? They're
band.
I think they're
How's
here.
your week been?
My week has actually been all right. Although, like I say, I wish I'd come to the gig on Friday. I don't think drinking even 4 pints I can't do. No, I'm getting old. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. What I was going to say is our acoustic sessions for B will be online by the time you see this. Obviously, B. Arnold was our guest last week. All of the acoustic sessions are now on. I've also put them on the website as well, so people can just go to unsignedmusic.uk.
Do you know what I did have a look back through?
What did you have a look back through?
The Ariston have released Yellow Lines.
They have.
I went from listening to that, I then went and watched the acoustic version he did.
Yeah.
Just to compare the two for my own curiosity.
It would also be a good idea to then compare the live version that they did because it does sound very different.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, obviously when you're writing, you have obviously got a way you want it to sound, and sometimes there's a few flicks and tricks, I imagine, and stuff like that. But I mean, for me, like, it's a weird, the way in which I think it's because I'm used to hearing the track the way I've heard it for the past few months, right? So we heard
your live version,
the live version, which was mixed, and we've played on radio, and it's on YouTube for everyone to go and watch it and listen back to and whatever. But I've heard that in its sort of raw format, I suppose, for so long, and then obviously hearing the radio edit, it does sound quite different to me.
Yeah, no, I get that. Flip version of that. When I was first getting into guitar music, and of course obsessed with the Arctic Monkeys when I was younger, still am, who've got a new album out, which is very exciting, and a new song out as we speak. Today, it was released today.
Was it today?
It was today, yeah. Can't think of what it's called.
Something about a car, innit?
Something about Glitterball.
Oh.
The single. Doesn't matter. I remember listening to the Arctic Monkeys and hearing how they sounded.
Yes.
There we go. So tight on the record. I'm thinking, bloody hell. Then seeing them live for the first time on TV and thinking, what the fuck is this? It's just, and then that was the first time it was really explained to me that the difference between the live music and the singles.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not talking from that perspective.
Okay.
I don't feel that not
in a bad way, as in wow, as in the comparison. Not as in this is dreadful because it's
no, of course not. No, I just it just sounded very different, and it's funny. I was wondering at what point who makes the decision on the like effects of it, because it wasn't like an effect of like, it's not like if you were playing bass and you decided to do, I don't know what the equivalent of a vibrato is, but I don't know if you're doing something and you do a little solo bit where you're being creative. It wasn't that. It was like quite obvious effects that had been put onto the
when I was here last week, I said the band were sat going through.
Yeah, they were.
So it's that kind of thing you sit through the demo.
Right, okay.
Even stuff like we've been to record, gone back and gone, this doesn't quite hit as much as we want it to. Said to the producer, can you just like get a snare or cymbal? Flip that round for us, so it goes into the sample that if you want. You know what I mean? So say small bits like that when you get you get the track back, you kind of get not so many edits, but you get your kind of back and forth with the guy in the studio again. Levels up, levels down, X, Y, Z kind of stuff.
Can you overproduce a track?
Yes, you can.
Have you? Or has there been any tracks where you've gone, we've got too many kicks?
I think we have.
Yeah.
But not by choice.
Right, okay.
Cloned.
Right.
I think it became too overproduced. The whole track is muddy.
Right,
not muddy,
okay.
but it's just...
We can hear you. Shush. Bloody hell. Trying to run a professional podcast here. You banging around.
What was I saying? Oh yes, the cloned it's muddy slightly, but that's where it's just got so much on it. It's just the compression is.
Oh, okay.
That's where it comes from, that side of things. But I think you can overproduce a track, or just spend too much time trying to produce the track. That you just lose what it's doing.
I get. We've discussed it with artists before, where it's been a case of we've been some artists that have gone, I'm happy with the track, throw it out there, see what happens. And there's been other artists on the complete contrast of that have almost like overthunked it.
Too much funk.
Too much funk for that track.
I think you can. I think you can overthink the track or what your plans are. Like we've got, I don't know if you've seen on Spotify, or at the moment just artists doing it. Big. I've seen Shaggy do it, and Shaggy and the band Ghost.
Yeah, right.
They've released, I think it was a thing on TikTok of not slowed down. You can still tell it's the track, but like you slow it down so like it gets an extra 30 seconds on the track.
Right.
That's how much it slows down, and then put reverb on the whole track, and then just releasing that as a track.
I've not seen. So what would be what's the point of that?
It was a trend on TikTok.
Oh,
I think so. So I've seen bigger bands go, right, bam, slow the track down, just the original track, slow it down, chuck a load of reverb on it, off it goes.
Right, okay.
What are you doing?
They've texted me. They're waiting. They're early and they're waiting outside.
They can stand outside, can't they? But no, that is something I've seen at the moment as well. So we've humoured the idea of that.
Right, okay.
And just don't think about it. Do it, done, send it off.
I think there is a part of that, isn't it? Because you want to make sure it's what you've actually... When you've got an idea and you produce something, you don't want to go too far away from what the original idea was, because it can turn into a completely different track, can't it? But then when we had like Eliza Mating, she said that she'd come up with like a riff and she couldn't find anything for it to go on. And it wasn't until I think she said it was Edge of This, not Edge This Way, Edge of This. And she actually found it. She goes, that fit perfectly. So it's funny that you can have you had tracks like that where you've gone, this would be perfect for this. It hasn't quite worked. And then you've put it onto a different track. Because they know.
I think of a bass line that in Project 2. I mean, you know it. Yeah. No, the bass line for Project 2, I was quite keen to get that into a song quite sharpish.
Right, okay.
Just because I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite go into whatever I was trying to squeeze it into. So it had to, and eventually went, actually it fits this quite nicely.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that you have an idea for something and it doesn't quite fit there, so you find another home for it.
I think originally it was the bass line to Medications.
Oh, really?
But
I do know that track.
It was just too much.
Right.
So into Project 2, the chords or the notes, the root notes got changed just to match the song. Right, okay. And it sounded a lot better and it worked. There you go. There you go. That's my example.
I've got a question for you. Ooh. So gig-wise, no, I'm not proposing. Gig-wise,
imagine that on camera.
That would be an exclusive.
It would, yeah.
Charlotte would be furious. If we had the opportunity to do a gig, we've discussed this briefly off pod, but if we had the opportunity to do a gig somewhere on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, what would you choose and why? And they're the only days that are available.
Say them again. Sunday
to Wednesday.
Sunday to Wednesday. Yeah. It's hard.
But
it is hard. Do you not think, like, if you was going to go watch a gig, Sunday, I imagine, tell me if I'm wrong, you've got the kids to sort out.
We have.
And they've got school the next day.
Yeah.
If you turn around to Charlotte, yeah.
Sound like Charlotte.
To Charlotte and say, going to a gig. She'd go, like, fuck are you? Bath time.
Yeah, I suppose
we got dinner, bath and homework to do.
Yeah, no, I suppose so. But what's better? Is it better to do it on a Sunday, or is it better than to do it midweek Wednesday? Like, it depends on the location of the gig. It really is
hard. I don't know. It's not.
Or you just say no. Sorry, can't do that.
It's not one we've ever done before.
Well, basically, because we've got our gig coming up in September, end of September, for Future Hits and Unsigned. But we do have the opportunity to go elsewhere and do some more unsigned gigs. So we have people from Cambridge area going to a gig that. Yeah. because we get so many submissions from. I think I calculated earlier we've had like 500 submissions in total across Unsigned and Future Hits.
Which is a hell of a lot of new music.
There's a hell of a lot of new music, and most of those are playing on Future Hits as we speak.
Oh, sorry, I tuned in the other day
to
just Future Hits to see what was I looking for. I was trying to check the link that I was sending to people was actually working.
Yeah.
First song that came on was Project 2 Admissions. It was like now playing. I was like, no.
You played your own track in your show yesterday.
No, shameful. No, we've got a good thing going on that. Like I'll play Admissions or Grace or Abby, and they'll do the same. I don't know if you know.
I have noticed that. Yeah, Abby's done it as well.
Everyone scratching each other's back.
Well, you got it, haven't you? I've still got to write my track.
I can't wait.
But what I was going to say is that where we've got the opportunity to do gigs elsewhere, so Cambridge as an example, right? Yeah. Cambridge gig has got to be on a Saturday, maybe a Sunday, for the location from our perspective where it is. But again, like you say, going out on a Sunday, you're really going to want to go and do that.
But then something I've just thought of is Cambridge has got a university.
It's got a very big university.
It has, yeah.
It's got a couple.
It has, yeah. So if you're near Cambridge Uni,
yeah.
The uni students don't give a monkeys, do they? If it's
no, I suppose not.
What day of the week it is. Or if you were somewhere like, let's just say, Manchester, it's got a big music scene.
Yep.
People are going to go watch it anyway.
Anyway,
maybe it's just our neck of the woods. The music scene's not as strong when it comes to
maybe.
venues. Maybe that's what we're going off of.
Well, I'm looking to sort of try and set up a couple more gigs before the end of the year, basically. And we've got venues that are interested around. Obviously, we've got Hotbox in Chelmsford doing our event there. We've got 21 in Southend that we can do events there. And we've also speaking to a couple of places in Cambridge as well that are interested. So it is. It's interesting to be able to do that, but it's just, again, geographically and timing-wise, just finding the right...
I guess you've got to take a punt, haven't you? You don't know until you've done it.
No, I know, but it's a hell of a punt.
It's a costly punt.
It's a costly... Don't get that wrong.
No, it's a costly punt.
Fair enough. Right, I've actually got this working today. I was just going to do some quick news before we then sign off on section 1. What?
See if I can get a preview of the news.
I think I've said most of it the other day anyway, but we'll redo it. So we have got Alex Francis has got to go. This would have gone out by Thursday, so don't matter. But don't worry, because he's going to be at the 66 Bar in Cambridge on the 6th of October, and Ocean Floors,
Flawless.
Yeah, they have got a gig on the 14th of October at the Colours of Hoxton with Katie for Kings supporting, but they also, by the time this goes out, have presented their first show on Future Hits.
Yep.
So if you want to go back and watch that, listen to that on
Mixcloud.
Yes, just search for Future Hits Radio and you can go back and listen to that. Very excited to have them on board. They're doing a monthly show.
Lucky them.
What do you mean, lucky them?
A monthly show. That's a really good thing to put out.
Yeah.
As in, I was going to say, it's doing a weekly one.
Yep.
And I'm sure you'll agree.
Yep.
Is a lot of upkeep.
It is.
So doing a monthly one, they've got the slot right on that one.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it depends how many. So as an example, right, we've got 8 presenters, but you're one show. Mm-hmm. So we've got 7 shows.
We'll just call it 7 presenters. Ollie's just take a kid to work.
He's a funny kid though. He's TikTok the other day of, where can I watch Future Hits? This is a leaf or whatever. I
wasn't expecting that.
It was quite funny.
I just need 10 seconds of you going, go check out Mixcloud.
It was funny. But we've got 7 shows. So it is nice to get more submissions, show submissions, not just artist submissions, but show submissions through the door. Because I know that there's going to be weeks where, like Grace couldn't do a show last week because she was so busy performing and being on, so she couldn't do a week. So we replayed one of her other shows. So it's just one of those things. It's all a balancing act.
Didn't know that was an option. There's us trying to get 2 or 3 weeks ahead of ourselves.
Well, obviously, if everyone get 2 or 3 weeks ahead of themselves, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Churning out old shit.
Well, yeah, there's not a montage.
There's the
It was a montage.
Throw it together.
It was a montage. Gia Lilly's announced her gig at the Underbelly in Hoxton on the 1st of October as well. Been invited to that one, so that would be good to get down to that one if we can.
Nice.
And that's basically what we're going to do for the news, because I'm conscious that the guys are waiting outside.
Have you got any news?
Have I got any news? No, not really.
No,
not really. Not really. I've been invited to a gig on Thursday, but I'm not sure I can go because it's like too short notice with the kids and stuff.
Where's that?
King's Cross. Yeah. So, but I'm not sure I can get to that. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone who's inviting us to gigs. It is really, we do really appreciate it. If we can get down, or if any members of the team can get down, we will try our very, very best. But
Ollie won't be coming.
Ollie, don't invite Ollie.
No, he won't.
You'll only be disappointed.
He won't be making it.
He'll come in here at some point and we'll be able to rip him to shreds for you. Right, we're going to have a quick break and we'll be back in section 2 with...
Third lung.
There we go. Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned podcast. As some of you may know, I'm an ambassador for MATES, which is Mental Health Awareness through Educational Speaking. They're a peer-to-peer support group. They're based in Essex, but they've got a group on Facebook, and there's a load of great ambassadors out there all offering out some support. If you want more information, go to their website, weareyourmates.com. But let's get back to the episode.
The Unsigned podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Unsigned podcast, section 2. We are joined by Third Lung. Camilla and Tom, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Yeah, man, good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No worries, thanks for coming in.
No, pleasure.
Sorry
Absolute
you were
pleasure.
delayed outside waiting for us to open the door for you.
I know, someone was recording an intro apparently, and
Yeah.
we were stuck outside. I'm sure it was raining, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
looked
Let's
like
make
you
it
were
sound worse than
chucking
it was.
down.
Yeah, it was chucking it down. It was soaked, as you
Just,
can
you
see.
know,
Chucking it down.
out-of-towners,
Keeping the
lost.
artiste waiting. Disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, I do apologise.
Nah, it's
I had to wait for one artiste to get here.
Did you?
Oh,
What kind of artist?
You can't arrive on time. That's going to be fashionably late.
Yeah, I know. You done all right though.
An hour.
Yeah.
Hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, you done all
From
right,
where?
mate.
Essex.
From Chelmsford, yeah.
Chelmsford,
Yeah.
nice
Yeah,
work.
and parked bang outside the door as well.
Yeah, no, I had to get you to move up just so anyone else could get in though.
Spot was saved for the for me.
I didn't save it.
Why was you in the road then?
just sitting there.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Right, we've had 20 minutes of us chatting shit. Stop it. Welcome to the Unsigned podcast. Thank you very much for coming in. Could you introduce people to yourselves, to who isn't here, as an example?
Who isn't here? Well, we were just slagging off the rhythm section, so we might as well start with those.
Yeah, but they don't know that because we hadn't pressed record yet. So now
I forgot about that bit.
Too late.
So drummer
Let's slag them
Sam.
off again, just so they're aware of what was said.
Yeah, they're absolute
Yeah,
bellends.
it'll happen naturally.
So Sam Waugh is our drummer, and Rob Jakes is the bass player. The guy that cuts people daggers when they make mistakes on stage. That's the guy. I'm Tom. I'm the lead singer, and
I'm Cams. I'm the lead guitarist, backing singer.
how long have you guys been performing together?
too bloody long, mate. Too bloody
Too
long.
long. Currently, this has been going for about. I joined 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's.
That's the short answer.
Right.
There's a much longer answer.
But you guys, the three of you, 2014. Did you guys?
Yeah, I
start
think so.
jamming
Something like
together?
that. We
Yeah.
were messing around as a free piece for a long time, but
Right.
the plan was always to find a lead guitarist, because I certainly am not that.
Right.
I bash away on chords and try to write some songs. But yeah, we sort of tried like 10 different players, and it just wasn't a fit. It never was, you know. So we just messed around as a free piece, recorded an album called In the Chrysalis in 2014, and then eventually ground Camilla down. And
But by the
she
way, I'm not a
finally-
lead guitarist. I'm a
You
singer.
are a lead
I was
guitarist.
a singer-songwriter, rhythm guitarist my whole life, and then these guys are like, just do it.
Give it a
Go on,
go.
do it. So
Yeah.
I did.
So how did you guys know each other then?
Reading College was the place where it all happened. Many moons ago, I was a drummer back in those days.
Right.
And Cams and I helped form a band called Yankee 99er. And that was a 5-piece.
Yeah, it's a
Was it a five-piece?
Yeah.
We got signed pretty quickly in that outfit. Ended up recording at Metropolis Studios, up the
Cool.
road there. Did that. I remember like messing around on Freddie Mercury's piano in the library.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. That didn't last, but no. Basically we all kind of went our sort of the lead singer went his separate ways to that band, and the four of us carried on in a band called The Alive. Again, I was the drummer, and then we kind of just did the circuit for a couple of years, something like that. And then gradually I just started picking up the guitar, decided I was a singer.
Right.
You know, the audacity of it. And then that's kind of the
You met
genesis.
Rob. You met Rob years ago.
Yeah, some
Rob's been
dodgy
playing
pub
with you.
in like the middle of Tylehurst, I think.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tylehurst.
So he's a little bit young. He's a little bit younger than us, Rob. Believe it or not, he looks older than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, he's a fantastic bass player. But you guys met him. He's been with you like the whole time, and then sort of tried out various drummers and that.
Yeah, he is the
And
most
I think-
valuable player, I think, in the band. It's got to be said.
Yeah.
We'll keep that.
Is that why he sets the standard so high in case you do screw up, and that's why he's giving the daggers out?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's setting the standard.
What happens when he screws up?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so much fun. Like the three of us just look at each other like with glee. You know, and
human.
We just stare and point at that point, you know what I mean? Like, at that stage. It's phenomenal. It happens very rarely, it's got to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal player. He is. You know, but his singing voice is awful, so we've got that on him.
I've never heard it.
It is terrible.
It just doesn't.
I'm joking. I'm joking. He's so embarrassed to sing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's so like self-conscious about singing.
Right.
And he's got quite a low range, so it'd be perfect for like harmonies and stuff. But yeah, just can't get it out of him. No.
You did a bit back in the other.
Shouting.
It's shouting.
It's shouting. I can't.
What was
sing.
the
Give
lyric?
us a little.
No, straight up, no, I don't. No, it's
It was-
That was daggers, right?
It was, yeah. I've got-
Bass player again. That's what it was.
No, I can't sing.
No.
I learned at very quite a young age. Somewhere on YouTube there is a video of me singing some backing vocals with Kirsty,
Oh, okay.
and then that just got rinsed throughout friendship group
Excellent.
at school, college.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, so it's like it's just been drummed into you. Just don't fucking do it.
Don't ever try it.
Yeah.
But you had to, didn't you? At the gig I'm thinking of, when you were performing the other week, you had to because.
But I always do that bit.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah,
because it's
just-
shouting.
Yeah, but there was just the microphone happened
I'm
to be
so
on.
curious. What type of what sort of like? Are you
picture
talking
it.
scream?
It wasn't that. It
It's
wasn't.
just shouting coming for you.
Which sounds weird, like just on its own,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. I was like, what? I had to double
Don't shout that down the street.
No, which essentially it is what it is, isn't it? But
So is it coming for you or is it coming for you?
that's a question. When we was recording it, went on for hours.
Yeah.
I think it is coming for you.
Yeah,
Not I'm coming for you. Not I'm coming for you. Coming for you.
all right. Cool.
Oh. That's taking it completely different, the wrong way now.
How do you spell that?
You never look at me in the eyes again.
Next time you come to the gig, I'm going to sing it and just eyes locked with you the whole,
my
4.5
God.
minutes.
Oh no.
Eight
So many ways to
minutes
take
have
just-
been in here, and then we've gone to that level already.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Fucking hell.
Well, we were talking about that. That's the stuff that takes, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
always the stuff that takes. You know, we've got. I think I was telling you before.
Yeah.
We've like for all the work that we put into like all our posts and releases and all the rest of it. You know the crap. We put up one silly video of us behind the stage at some festival, getting ready to leave, I think. And Camilla hops out of the car. This is the whole video. She hops out of the car. She runs up to rob the poor bass player's car, which is just sort of always filthy. You know, it's just disgusting how filthy his car.
A perfect layer of dirt. On
The
it.
inside is worse than the outside. But anyway, she runs up to his car, and what are you going to do with a car like that? That's filthy like that. You're going to draw a bus shuttlecock on it, aren't you?
Obviously. Yeah.
So she draws the perfect
Thanks.
representation
Yeah,
there. And comes back in the car and she goes, "Oh, I've got a dirty finger." And last time we checked, it's got like pushing like 4,000 likes on Instagram and 900,000 people have watched it
Mad,
or something
isn't
like
it?
that. It's just
really
insane.
crazy.
And it's
It's
like
disheartening as well, isn't it?
trying to pull them to the fucking gig, man.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
exactly. Even like you mentioned earlier when you told us that you could spend hours making a music video, the promo clips,
yeah.
all the things you want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
A cock on a car is,
Yeah, mate.
is what the people want.
Yeah,
Mad,
that's
isn't
it.
it?
Yeah, I would do another one, but I'm scared it won't do as well.
No, it
it's
won't.
just-
You can't-
it's a little moment.
You
caught-
can't read.
It's those
Magical
impromptu
moment
ones.
caught
Those
in
magical
time.
moments. You can't recreate that.
You've got to
That's-
get him on the inside of his car when it's misted up. That'll be there forever.
Oh yeah, that's.
That doesn't go. Have you done that before?
Probably when
No,
I
I
was
know
a
what you
kid.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
it depends how dirty that
Yeah,
window
if
is.
someone's car missed up that conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff.
You're thinking like, yeah, I know what you mean.
No, go on. What am I thinking?
Especially Rob, because he definitely won't clean those windows.
Didn't we have a photo shoot once at a bus shelter, and wasn't there a bus shelter cop
There
behind
might
like
have
one of
been.
us?
There might have
Sure,
been. I
I'm
think
sure.
it got edited.
Oh, did
out
it?
to me. Yeah.
We blurred that out. Oh, fuck,
Ah,
that's
see, you would have got a million views ages ago
That's
if you
a
left it
shame,
in.
Yeah, yeah. We
Overproduced. That's what that was.
Yeah, yeah. we're, having,
Clean.
we're having a conversation earlier about when you release a track. Like, obviously, we've had quite a few artists on here that have gone, right, we've got our track, we're ready for it, it's going out. But there's been some artists who have really held back and really been like, right, we don't want to release that until we've got X, Y, and Z line up and all that. So we'll get on to, because I know you guys are doing something like that because you've got something coming out in November. But when do you guys think the perfect time to release a track is? Because there was a track we were discussing earlier where it's like it's been waiting for so long to be released. All of that build up. It's like, obviously you don't want to make sure there's any anticlimax or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, at what point do you go, that's enough, get it out there?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I guess it's tricky, isn't it? Because what we've got going on in November is we've got an debut album coming out on the 4th. Is that right?
That is
playing
correct.
around
The
with some
4th.
dates recently, so yeah, 4th is correct.
The 4th is definitely
Matt
knows.
Thank God you're here. But yeah, so obviously that was recorded at the beginning of the year. So from basically the first day of being in the studio in January, we literally planned out the whole year. And we knew we'd definitely release it at the end of the year.
Right.
And there's basically just a single release strategy, and we've just gone with that, haven't we?
It's pretty old school, really. You know, kind of like 3 single releases, drop the album, and then a couple of singles are planned after that, with the occasional B-side kind of chucked in. It's like really old school, but you know, quite like that. And it kind of gives us a bit of freedom as well to like chuck out a few of the tunes that we've been messing around with at home, just sort of really DIY kind of bedroom studio kind of vibe. Just get those out too, which is really nice. But I really related to what Rob was saying, what you were saying earlier about just sort of like, what do you do? Do you take it a single at a time, or do you just sort of bite the bullet and like go for that body of work, go for that album? Because we've been through.
It's hard.
Oh man, like knowing when
hard,
to do it. It's like, I don't. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think if you look at all the metrics, you wouldn't sort of say to us, right, this is you're ready now to release an album, but we just got fucking sick of
waiting.
Yeah, we're an album.
Yeah.
I think like so many other bands, we want to create a body of work. You know what I mean? That we're proud of. So we just found a way to do it. To be honest with you, we're very lucky that we've got phenomenal relationships with like our producer is like the main one, I'd say. Shout out to Michael Smith, absolute legend. He's enabled us to do what we're doing, and we've come up together in many ways. You know, he's really like helped us develop our sound and all the rest of it. But I think having that target, like, right, the album's coming out then, and you've got the whole year to plan, that was a massive, like, focusing exercise. It's like, right, now we've got work to do now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's really accelerated our growth and pushed us along. So I think in retrospect, it's like, shit, make sure you always give yourself a target, you know, to aim at, because otherwise you're going to hit thin air if you don't have that. You know?
So how long from the point of the album being finished to the point when you sat there and went, okay, we can start looking at a date? How long has it been ready for?
I think
when was it mastered? It was mastered on St. Paddy's Day, wasn't it?
It was Paddy's Day, wasn't it?
I can remember that, sort of.
Yeah, I was the designated driver that night.
Yay! Yeah, it was mastered on St. Paddy's Day this year, but it was, you know, so we were throwing mixes around for quite a while trying to get it right. But yeah, it was fun. Yeah, so mastered on St. Paddy's Day.
I think the sort of plan was kind of there fairly early. What singles to release? That's been an interesting one. I think we kind of knew that Laura and Low High were definitely going to be in the first batch.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've only sort of recently, in the last few weeks, decided on the third single, which will come out. You have to remind me of that day. I think it's October, isn't it?
7th of October. Yeah.
But what also, you know, early next year, we're not just going to release the album and then forget about it. We're going to old school release some singles afterwards as well. So, you know, it really gets like full treatment, so everyone really knows sort of what it's all about. But we haven't chosen those singles yet because we're kind of testing. It's quite nice to let people hear them sometimes, and then they give you a bit of feedback. Do you think
when you recorded the album, you would have been in a certain headspace or certain, not character, but you would have had a certain, just say certain headspace of what you wanted the album to sound like? Where that was back then and it was mastered back then, do you think you've moved on from that?
Yes.
To the point where you go, to the point where you go, we're going to release it, but that's not really what we're about anymore.
No, I mean,
sound-wise, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's such a good question. Yeah, I think we're quite we love writing, and I hate to say like we're prolific, but we're fairly active, you know, and we write regularly. So we do have a lot of material, like we're building up all this material. Hence why we were like, let's get this album out. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't just sit on it forever and a day. I think we have we are developing all the time, but I do feel that when this album comes out, it will fairly represent kind of
where you're at now.
Yeah, I mean but saying that, we've already chucked in one of our new songs. It's called Pinstripe Maroon, I think it's called, isn't it? We've already chucked that in at the end of the set as well, just because, you know, we get excited about. I mean, I think that's a bit of discipline that has to come in, because a lot of our fans sort of say, well, how's about all these songs that you released on Dialogues of the Fatal Few, for instance, an EP that we put out last year? How's about playing some of those? So, you know, it's a bit tricky trying to balance that.
It's quite funny because one thing we've done is the last time we listened to the album was probably a few days after mastering, or when we got the masters back, just check it all over, and then that was it. We all agreed not to listen to it, so none of us have listened to it
until we get the record.
Until we get the vinyl, then we'll sit down and listen to it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you literally get sick of it, and then you're like, right, oh no, I'm bored of it. So we were talking about this the other day, and then that way, when it comes out, we can sort of enjoy it with fans, hopefully, while they're listening to it. Otherwise, you know, you do get sick of it.
So what are you doing about your set list then? Because you had a festival, was it Wokingham Festival you done this weekend? Yeah. And you've got a couple coming up as well, an event. So what are you doing with your set list for that? Are there many from the album that are on that?
Yeah, we're starting to sort of trickle them in. But we play a lot of the dialogues, so the last EP. We'll play a couple of old ones as well, and then obviously current singles. And depending on how long the sets are, we sort of pad them out either with a couple of new ones. Again, just testing the water, seeing how people... And, you know, it's quite a good way of seeing, you know, the reaction to those songs, whether or not it could be a single, to be honest. Because some people... And everyone's opinion's different. And normally our opinion's wrong. Like what we want a single to be. A lot of people are like, no, you need to do this one over here, because you get emotionally attached to them.
Do you find that when you release a single, a track, whatever it may be, you think this is going to be the one?
Yep.
And then you look at your Spotify and go, it's not even in the top 5.
Every single time, dude.
I think that about podcasts.
Exactly.
This one's going to fucking smash it. Oh!
Is that it? What? That's hilarious.
Then do you look back and go, why are people listening to this one? This one's so much better.
Mate, yeah, so true.
It's odd, isn't it?
No. You're going, oh, shit.
No, I have I have thought that, but I won't tell you which one. But
it's quite...
Not about any of your tracks, by the way. This podcast.
That's a bit personal.
No.
Yeah, what? What we did find with Dialogues was quite funny, is because that was we recorded 4 tracks in the studio, so they're big, you know, big production and all the rest of it, and then you recorded just the
Art of Stealing, it's called.
There's like a 5th extra track sort of thing. And that got loads of radio play. It did so much. That's the one. Literally, Tom just did it at home. It didn't cost anything.
I don't even really play the piano, to be completely honest. You know, there's a big, probably shouldn't confess it, but there's a big long pause in the middle of it, and it's literally me like getting ready, like, oh, where's that chord again? You know, sort of like. But I recorded it once, got all the way through it, and I was like, right. That's it. Like that can stay like that. But when it came to recording the vocal, it really worked. It like gave me a little second just to kind of, because it's quite an emotional song, to be fair. And that ended up getting like a track of the week on like our local BBC intro kind of vibe, which was quality.
Loved it.
And I literally just threw it together at home. But it was a real cool vibe that I had going with it. But in terms of like being technically recorded in an amazing way, not at all. I just made sure it didn't go into the red, and that's pretty much it.
Didn't peak, you're
Didn't peak, and I was like, right, Michael, sort that out for me. You know, but yeah, it's really hard to...
People like that change in dynamic, I think, because our tracks are quite full on. Like there's a lot in them, so just a nice simple piano track is quite nice.
Bit of contrast in there.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, like we don't, you know, our sets are quite, you know, they're quite full on. Our live gigs and stuff. Although the Laura, when we did the single release for Laura in Reading, we did actually do some stripped back songs, didn't we, with keys and stuff, and it actually went down really well.
Yeah, that was quite interesting actually to do that.
Yeah, of a different side.
Who's playing keys then?
We both do a little bit. I do a little bit, and Tom does a little bit.
Camilla's more convincing than me. No, you really are. You really are. It's the same. It's the same vibe when I started playing guitar. To be honest with you, as soon as I learned like 3 or 4 chords, I was like, right, I'm ready to write a song now. And that's always my instinct. I just want to write a song. Right. So I can be quite lazy in terms of I don't know, honing the craft, I suppose. I do enjoy playing guitar now, but yeah, I just want to write a song. That's kind of my whole thing really. Yeah, to be fair.
Do you take different roles within the band then? So obviously, if you're saying you write the songs, everyone else, I imagine, has their own vibe. But who brings what else to the party then?
It has developed a hell of a lot. Like, so, I mean, Low High's a really good example, actually, I think.
Yeah, that was nice.
And that was like second single from the album, and it was the last one to be written before we went in the studio. So lovely experience, actually. Producer sort of said, like, right, we've got these 10 tracks. We need one more, and I think you need this type of song. So he gave me a reference track, and it happened to be U2's Sometimes You Can't Make It On Your Own.
Right.
So I just sort of, with that kind of in mind, I sort of listened to it a couple of times and then sort of forgotten about it because I was like, right, I don't want to just rip this song off, even though it's amazing. But I ended up just going home pretty quickly and had I think it was like the verse and the bridge of the song, just chords and melody and lyrics kind of thing. Brought it to the guys and like the riff, the signature riff that you hear on it, that's all Cam's. And then me, Rob, and all of us, didn't we? Like the four of us just went to work on it and then developed the chorus from there. So that was added later. And as far as being a songwriter, that was a massive eye opener to me, actually. Just hashing it out in the rehearsal room, it was I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you came up with the initial idea, and then you all built on top of that to become the song, the whole song.
I mean, often, like, sometimes I'll write a tune, and it, like really simple chords and stuff, and it'll have a bit of a, I don't know, you listen to it and you think, oh, this sounds so cheesy.
Right.
And then I just lob it at them. And it's like, because I don't really, like, there's a tune we're working on at the moment. And the aim is for me to get out of the way now. It's we've kind of got the chord sequence, we've got the structure, I know what I'm doing melodically and stuff. And now I need to get out of the way and let these guys do what they do. Do you know
Hand
what I mean?
it over.
Yeah, so they can make it sound cool, basically. Do you know what I mean?
And the flair.
Yeah, no, it really is, because Cam's is kind of like, she's edgier than Edge, this one. So no, so
we've all got sort of different sort of influences and disciplines, I think, as well, which can make it quite interesting.
Yeah, like Sam's got an incredible kind of funk flair. His like favorite artist is Shaka Khan, which is
you don't hear that much.
You don't hear it much,
No.
do you?
No,
He
no.
absolutely
No.
fucking loves Shaka Khan, like absolutely loves her.
He's not actually a big rock music fan. It's
No.
quite funny, but that might be why it kind of works really well with what he does, because he's not thinking rock, if that makes sense. So
No.
it gives the songs like a really cool just edge to them, the rhythm section for sure.
Although saying that, he loves like bands like Foo Fighters and a few tunes kind of thing. But then one band that he loves that we saw recently, actually, we played Lakefest in, I don't know if you've come across it, in Hertfordshire. It's a wicked festival, and Reef played the main stage.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, they smashed it. They absolutely smashed it. It's one of the coolest sets I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really, to my ears, really leaned into the whole kind of, Black Crowes kind of vibe. And the dude's voice is just insane live. But yeah, Sam,
Wicked performance.
it was, yeah.
When you said you've got different influences, who would you say each of your biggest influences have been?
I think mine's definitely like it's very much like an indie sort of influence. When I grew up, definitely Oasis, Travis, Stereophonics, that kind of stuff. When I was sort of younger, those are the bands that I was really into. And actually, there were tons of bands around sort of back then, which you don't often hear of now. But so that was definitely me. Then I eventually got into like really heavier rock when I was sort of at college and
When
stuff.
you discovered AC/DC, it was hilarious. It's the best thing ever.
I am a big fan.
Camilla's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, because it seemed like it was like really old music back then. But then I listened and I was like, no, this is really good.
Yeah.
It's the same as Zeppelin as well. Like when you discover these like legacy bands, you're like, what?
Yeah.
But just that's what I listened to when I was like 11, 12. And I think that those sort of bands stick with you for quite a long time. And you don't realise the influence they have on you. When you play later on, I listen back to like those old albums now, and I'm like, oh, I kind of sound like that now. You know, and it's just in there.
Yeah,
it,
it's a really good point. Yeah, kind of just
interesting,
sort of bleeds through you a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah, yourself.
For me, I think that the album that just changed shit for me was Joshua Tree, U2. So that, and then I just sort of sunk deeply into their stuff. And Foo Fighters, like those first 3 albums, just sort of devoured those on repeat kind of thing. Those were the 2 main ones, I think. And then, I mean, I was a drummer, so I used to be into some really random shit back in the day. Like I used to listen to quite a lot of like big band music. Like I used to love like big band jazz drummers like Louis Bellson and Buddy Rich and Gene Kruger and stuff like this. Kind of got into that, and then had a little stint of doing a bit of Afro-Cuban kind of music. Like kind of loved a bit of Latin and stuff. I tried to play that stuff.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I loved it. But it wasn't until I met Cams at Reading College that kind of really went hard on the kind of the rock drumming, and sort of discovered Zeppelin probably when I was about 16, 17, and then just like every drummer I was like, right, I want to be Bonham, you know, like that's, you know, I want a 26-inch bass drum, you know what I mean?
I've got to share with them as well when you discovered the Doors. That was hilarious.
Yeah, the Doors was a massive one.
Because he literally woke up the next day, had a packet of red Marlboros. Like your hair was down here, you had the Cubans on.
Yeah.
What happened to you? I literally just watched the film.
Yeah, I was like,
all the albums.
I was so like they're so clean cut, like short back and sides, and then
That's what I've got.
Yeah. Good job.
Very clean.
Very clean cut. Squeaky clean.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the Doors were a massive one. Yeah, big one. Like,
What's yours? What would you say yours is? I know obviously we've not Arctic Monkeys because we've touched on
What,
those
as in
enough.
like an artist that you discovered?
When you were like, fuck me, they're amazing, and and you look back now and you go, actually, I've got a bit of influence from them.
I don't know about the influence side of things, but like you said, like you discovered bands that were massive and had their day to a certain extent.
yeah.
Do you ever watch the film The Dirt that was on Netflix?
I think
It was Motley. It was like Bohemian Rhapsody, but it was Motley Crue.
Oh,
wow.
no way.
Yeah, and I had never listened to Motley Crue before.
No.
And I watched this film and I was like, fucking hell.
Wicked.
That's like, I'm doing a bit of that.
Yeah.
That was just crazy.
Wicked.
Then went through their back catalogue, realised a bit weird some of it, and so I'll just take the hits.
Yeah.
So that was
The
my
best of the Beatles.
The best of the Beatles.
It's Partridge.
1 hour.
What's your favourite Beatles album? Best of the Beatles.
What about you? What's your...
I've got quite an eclectic sort of mix, really. I grew up, my dad's always been a musician, like 80s is what I sort of grew up on, really. I think for myself, like, I think I was too worried about what people thought when I was younger.
I can relate, no, everyone can relate
Preach
to that.
into the
Do
choir.
you know what I mean? So I worried far too much. Whereas, like, I remember, like, my sister played me Linkin Park for, like, the first track that they brought out, Breaking the Habit, and I was like, what the fuck are you listening to? What is this shit?
Secretly liking it.
But literally, I'm not kidding, like a couple of weeks later I was blasting that, and I love, like, Hybrid Theory is like one of my favourite albums, and I think the thing was, like, all of my friends, I'm still friends with everyone I was friends with in school pretty much, and they're all sort of like typical sort of like you said about Oasis and like that sort of era, right? And then we've gone through a few different things, but mainly it's only mainstream stuff, and they were never really into going to gigs and that. And I think I might have said to you last week that I wish I went to more gigs growing up, because all I ever saw it was from sort of my dad's side, because he's a muso and that, so I only really seen it from his side. I never really went to many gigs.
What, as in like unsigned band
I never
gigs,
went
or
to just generally
big gigs?
Generally, because I sort of, when I went away with my dad or whatever, so when he toured around the country, and I'd go away with him for a couple of weeks or whatever.
Decent.
So like I saw like the back end of it's the wrong term, but do you know what I mean? I saw from behind the behind the curtain sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool,
So that was cool, but then like I didn't then go to like gigs necessarily normally, like just generally, like my friends and that. I went and saw like Oasis once, but that was when they were like on their when they were pretty much the year
Where
they
did you see
broke
them?
up, Wembley.
Fucking hell, man.
I think
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty
Rob
cool.
might have seen it then, yeah.
But otherwise, I never really went to many gigs, and I sort of wish I went to a dubstep night once.
Wow.
I saw Prodigy actually.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah.
so you know,
That's a good one.
It is a good one, but it was like a warehouse in Braintree or something. But it was
Local.
It was local.
Home. That's a homecoming gig.
It was exactly, yeah. So it was like those bands that I sort of I wish I'd gone and seen more of growing up, because I think a lot of my friendship group and still aren't really into that.
Right.
And I always really have been, but was a bit sort of.
When did you
closed
get over
off.
that? Like, you know, when you were like, oh fuck, I don't care what anyone thinks about me.
I had my best friend in the car the other day.
He's gonna get there one day.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Oh, really?
I had one of my best friends in the car the other day, and I had something on, and he was like, "What the fuck is
What
this?"
was it?
It might have been an Unsigned track actually,
Oh, really?
but it was quite rocky, and he was like, "What is this?" I was like, "It's my radio station, mate. Fuck off."
Yeah.
dare you? How
My
dare you?
station,
Yeah.
Got my own podcast. What are you doing?
Yeah. But it was, so it's one of those things that I don't think I've ever really. I've always worried. I remember saying to my mum a few times, like, I don't care what people think. She went, yeah, you fucking do. She would swear at me.
Really?
She was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, yeah, no, I do. Yeah.
really
But I
do.
think like radio's helped me come out of that a bit. I come out of that shell thinking, look, like I've got comfortable in my own skin now. So like I wouldn't have done this like, you know, then, because I would have worried about getting taken the piss out of probably.
Do you listen back to your stuff? Do you have to with all the editing that goes into it? Or does
So
someone else
basically,
do
I'm
that?
quite lucky with the podcast stuff. I don't mind that. Well, we've got an editor, Joel. Shout out, Joel. Every episode he gets a shout out. But he edits for us now, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
When I've edited these before he came along, I didn't mind it so much because it's quite laid back and all that. But yeah, going back over old radio shows, I think that'd be quite cringy.
Yeah,
You should do it. I found one that I did when I was 17, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you'll ever listen to. If you went back and listened to
Oh,
the first demo you did when you sang, what the fuck is that?
Do you know,
I
I
mean, it
used
might be
to-
really good, but chances are you'd
trust me,
cringe
it
at it.
really
It
wasn't.
won't be.
I used to do it a lot. I used to listen to our tracks over and over again. I don't know why. Like the first couple of listens, you know, you'd probably go, "Oh, that's all right. I'm quite proud of myself." And then it just became obsessive, where I was just nitpicking. It's like, well, that wasn't very good, and that wasn't
Yeah.
very good. And it got to a
definitely
point.
done
It's
that.
like, I've got to stop this now. And that's why, especially with this album, like I listened to it once we got the masters back, because you know you listen to the mixes and trying to get it right. But once we got the master back, I listened to it 2 times, and both times I wasn't in the right headspace, so I kind of got like a quarter of the way through, and I knew I was being overly critical. I just wanted one good listen, and I was at work, and I got that one good listen, and I was like proper like proud of like what we'd done, and then I was like, right, I ain't listening to that again, because I think, well, first of all, can't wait for it to be on the vinyl. It's going to be listen to it then, but I found that it kind of stifles your progress forward, because if you're constantly rehashing and re-listening to work that you've already done, you need to go out there and sell it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're just if I'm constantly listening to it and going, oh, I could have done this better or could have done that better, I'm not going to present it in the light that it deserves.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because I can think back to that third listen now and go, no, it is good.
Yeah.
Remember that listen. Do you know what I mean?
Because it comes back to you selling your product, doesn't it? So you need to be proud of that
Yeah.
and be happy with that. And if
Yeah.
you're being overly critical, it's going to be a bit of a hard sell to
Yeah,
anyone else
yeah.
if you don't believe in it yourself,
Oh,
right?
100%, yeah. And I think you can psych yourself out, you know,
Yeah.
if you're not too careful, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think nowadays we just press go and go for it, don't we?
When me and Ollie do stuff, when we record different links or whatnot, it's
Yeah.
literally you get one chance. If you fuck it up,
I think on this we've
That's-
restarted once, like when we've done.
when we've realised
When
we've
it's
been,
got really off-piste.
I think it's more we've been
it does.
slagging someone off and gone, we can't.
Do you know?
We can't,
so
we
true,
can't
yeah.
do that.
It's hilarious.
Maybe we should take.
I remember once on an episode, you text me a couple of days later, go, did we record that bit? I went, no, you're all right, don't worry.
You forget though, you do forget the mic's on.
Yeah. No, I know, yeah. But that's why, you know.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm a massive fan of podcasts, and that's what I love most about them. And anytime you like watch a YouTube video or something, if someone's fucked it up halfway through, that's great. That's like
Yeah.
you really get enticed. Yeah, it brings you in. I often sort of say, like, I've caught myself doing it a couple of times, like, because sort of the day job is gardening, so I've like got loads of like time during the day just to like listen to podcasts and audiobooks and stuff. So, but I'll tell Camilla about it or something. Oh yeah. I don't say I was listening to this podcast. I said a couple of times I was talking to whoever it was the other day, because
it's really easy.
a good
forget,
podcast,
don't you? Yeah.
man, it just sucks you in and you feel like you're part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I've tried. This is great, by the way. Just a little shout out to Unsigned with Matt Wherry.
Well done.
Cheers, man. No, but I've tried podcasts.
Let's look past Matt Wherry to find what it.
And it doesn't even say with Matt Wherry on it
What it
anymore.
was.
I
No.
went Unsigned Matt Wherry. I absolutely
Nailed
Nailed it. But I've tried like podcasts with some other people who remain nameless, and it's a bit too forced, and it's like, right, here are our questions, and here
That's what I don't want. This is what I've always said, and people get bored of me saying it probably. But like when we're on radio, you can understand why that happens. If you're sitting in a radio studio and you've got 10 minutes to do what you need to do, and then whatever, all right, fine. But for us on here, we don't want it to be that. We want it to be chilled. We want it. Obviously, there's questions we'll ask you, and there's bits we'll go through in the next section,
Prompts.
which are prompts.
Prompts.
I've used none.
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like when you've got people that come in and just want to chill and chat. Makes life so much easier. It's the ones where you have to keep going to your prompts and going, oh shit, I need to, oh okay, we'll go to those bits. Because we have certain bits. We always do, in this section, we'll always do like a general chat, like where have you been, where you come from, all that sort of stuff. And next section we do like your dream gig, right? So we've always got sections that we do hit, but it is always nice when you've got people to chat. It does help on a podcast.
Handy.
Absolutely.
It's handy.
It is
Talking,
handy.
yeah.
Talking helps on
It does, yeah.
podcasts.
You do find yourself, as you said, talking back to those people.
Yeah.
When you're listening to, I listen to Red Men TV, so a Liverpool football podcast.
Oh, can I show you something?
On the way in, and when they're talking about stuff, you forget. You're like, no, that's completely wrong. You start arguing. Where were you going?
Yeah, I know. I get like that all the time.
And you,
What have you got?
You've got Liverpool socks on.
Man United
Oh,
Man
shit.
United
I
socks.
wore them specially for him.
but you do forget what you're listening to, and you have they drum up your own opinion, and you want to share that opinion with them, even though they're never going to hear it. You go from there.
Are you a Patreon of theirs?
What looks my paying for that? It's on Spotify for free.
It's not the attitude, is it? Right, we're going to have a break. We're going to have a break, and we will come back and we'll do your dream gig in section 3. So join us then. Hi everyone, welcome to the Unsigned podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying the episode this week, but I wanted to talk to you about our Patreon. It's basically a subscription service that puts money back into Unsigned, if that's the podcast, a radio show, whatever. It helps us generate a bit of an income to support these unsigned artists and to run events and also do this podcast every week. So if you want to support the podcast and support the Unsigned music brand, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Unsigned Music UK, and you can sign up for just £1 a month. What can you get for that price? Anyway, let's get back to the episode.
The Unsigned Podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the... Were you going to say something then?
No, I was just smiling at you.
All right. It was really
gazing at you.
disconcerting.
Just gazing lovingly at
I know, it's weird.
beautiful. It's beautiful. At the moment.
I think fucking hurry up.
All right, okay. Right, welcome back to section 3. We are shouting very loudly. Right, we're going to get onto your dream gig then. Right, so first of all, you do have a gig coming up. And did you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what gig I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, okay,
I'm just
fine.
thinking like which gig. I'm gonna say it's the most important gig to us this year. It's the album launch,
Right.
happening on the 10th of November at the Sub 89 in Reading. So yeah, we're celebrating the launch of the album. The album's coming out on the 4th. We're playing a little in-store pop-up show at HMV in Reading on the 5th, and then the full band kind of thing with free that's great support acts. We're looking forward to announcing those soon.
Cool.
On the 10th. So yeah, the whole year, all roads lead to Sub 89 at this stage. You know what I mean? So we're buzzing for this one. Yeah.
So that's a local brewery as well.
No, that one isn't. No, this is like the local kind of touring venue in
right,
Reading.
okay.
Yeah. If all the kind of like the big touring bands kind of head to Sub 89 when they pass through. So yeah, it's always been like. We were chatting about Reef earlier. We played with them at Lakefest. I might have mentioned that 400 or 500 times. But I saw them at Sub 89 probably about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So looking forward to getting on that stage, to be fair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a cracking venue. It's great.
Great venue, yeah.
You played on the same bill as Top Loader once, didn't you?
Oh, cool.
We did Antinci Stride. I feel to go down that route. Yeah.
No, we'll leave that. We'll leave that there.
Hey, drop those names.
No, not for that one. Not for that festival. Right, we're going to get onto your dream gig, right? So in this section, what we do, we literally we give you a few different options, and you can have one each, because I don't want any arguments. Where would be your, not Sub 89, but where would be your dream venue at your dream gig? Where would
Taking
you want
out festivals.
I didn't even say festival, did
festivals. I know it'll come up. No festivals.
Yeah.
I finished. There needs to be ground rules, like no festivals.
No, hang on, wait. I'll caveat it. Not Glastonbury.
Or Reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, I was going to say, because we're from Reading.
Could be Reading Festival.
Would be a good one, because it'd be kind of cool to kind of say,
You ain't allowed that?
No, I think actually I'll give you that one. I think that's allowed, because when we had the new setters in, they wanted to play V Festival in Chelmsford, so
did.
from the hometown. That's fine. We'll give you that.
All right, Reading Festival then.
All right, fair enough.
It'd be very cool to play with.
Go big or go home, I reckon. Royal Albert Hall.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
that's a good
That
venue.
would be insane.
Yeah.
To play that.
I played drums there. I've told you this before.
No way.
Only fucking about like when my dad. I have. So when my dad was playing there, the drummer was like, because I've played drums a little bit but never properly, and he was like, do you want to go there? I was like, nah, I'm all right. He went, you won't get this chance again. Go and do it.
That's
And
awesome.
I think I went like, boom, boom, all right, done. But that was it. I was only little.
Like a little drum feels it. Like caterpillar.
Yeah.
Is that
It was only
Having a dump.
it was only something very simple that I taught myself because I never. Yeah. So that was that. So I've done it. Royal Albert Hall was a great venue.
Oh man, it's stunning.
Beautiful.
It's just stunning, isn't it? Yeah, I love that place. We it's nothing to do with music actually. We went to go see Bill Burr. Perform there when he did his what was the hour? It was Paper Tiger.
Right.
When he was doing that and.
I've never laughed so much.
Oh my god, that was just insane. I was
So
just
good.
hypnotised by the guy.
There's a podcast I watch which I've told you about, but you said you ain't got time for it. It's Have a Word, and they talk about Bill Burr a lot on there.
Oh, that's Adam
Rowe and Dan Nightingale.
he supported him that night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He was good as well.
He
He's
was
really good.
brilliant.
He is, really
Yeah.
good. I'm going to see a live show that they're doing in December.
Decent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So no, they're very good. He's got a few Netflix specials, isn't he? So he's definitely worth a watch.
For sure.
So bearing in mind you've said a venue and you said a festival, but you're going to have to decide on what you want to do here. You have got headliner, a main support, and an opener. You feature somewhere on the bill. Who else is featuring on the bill with you? Headliners, main support, opener. You need to choose where they fit on the bill as well.
That's quite hard, isn't it? Cause
Well, I'm just sort of thinking of Royal Albert Hall now, so I'm thinking...
That's also why I put festivals off a little bit, because at a festival you're going to have like 10 artists on one stage throughout the day, aren't you?
Everyone.
Yeah. Just because I'd love to see him there, I think Robert Plant
that'd be ace.
doing his solo stuff, he would be headlining, because there's just no way you're following Robert Plant. And then...
That's new. A lot of people go, we're headlining.
Oh
It's
yeah,
our gig.
we're the headliners.
Yeah.
Nah, man. No, I'll be happy just opening for Robert Plant at Royal Albert Hall, man. Die happy man at that point. And then another act, yeah?
Yeah, so you guys, either you have an opener and you'll be main support, and then
Well, I'll tell you what, then we'll go in the middle then. And my brother's a drummer in a cracking band called Reliant. Shout out to Reliant. And they can open for us then. So I reckon those would be my choices. Yeah.
Oh, that's really hard.
Come on, you know.
All I can think of is like massive bands at the moment. So
go
like,
for it.
Obviously, the Reading Festival would have been awesome, but if we change that, you could say, I don't know, like Wembley Arena or something like that. And it would be just incredible to support someone like you too.
Oh,
It'd be just incredible.
Yeah.
And then
actually,
we'll
sod Reliant. I'll have you too.
and then I think Phonics. I think Stereophonics.
Yeah.
I'd love to play. And Black Crows. I'm like, they're all just coming now. I'm just thinking of just.
Yeah, all of them.
But I couldn't say an order because I know what Tom means. It's like you almost want to just be part of that.
Yeah.
Draw it out of a hat. Who's next?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Off we go.
Just,
Yeah, Robert,
Yeah.
you're up. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, it'd be very cool to tour with a band like that.
What about
I
you
reckon.
guys?
Who did we choose? We chose. I think we was headlining.
Yeah, you
Tell
were,
me
yeah.
tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, mate, it was so long. It was literally so you done.
The first.
Well,
first
we done the
show.
preview show, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then the first guests were admissions.
Yeah.
So you were sort of co-host / guest on that, and it was 17 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we was headlining.
I think you might have said Biffy Clyro.
I think we had Biffy Clyro on the
dude,
bill,
yeah,
and
great.
then there was
They're
another
so good live.
big band as well. It was something Pretty Reckless or something like that potentially.
Can't remember.
It was something on it. Or Foo Fighters, I think Max
You
wanted.
go back and watch.
Just scroll back.
Scroll back and
I've been
watch.
thinking about this all night, going right that venue.
Yeah.
I'm going to be listing all these nights now.
Well, what would be
Biffy Clyro are so
Really
good
good.
live, man.
Mm.
We saw him at
Yeah.
Isle of Wight years ago at 2012.
That was a great
Just,
lineup.
I didn't know much about. I mean, I knew Biffy Clyro, but I'd
Mm.
never seen them live or listened to too much of their stuff at that
It's
point.
intense, their live shows.
Oh
It's
my
really
god!
good.
And the
The
pyrotechnics,
pyrotechnics were amazing.
Some more pyrotechnics. it was so good. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, Partridge. Love it.
Yeah, full beam. What would be your cover track that you're playing at your headline gig? Not your headline gig, at your dream gig. Sorry. What would be a cover track that you guys would do?
I've recently just been listening to Elbow. Is it Grounds for Divorce?
Oh yeah.
And I think that might be a cover. Watch this space. We might pull it together and actually start doing it soon. But just,
a
I'd love
banger,
to do a track like that.
Yeah. I think I'd probably choose a U2 track. I think. Actually, now we mention them, and probably go for something like just a real big classic. Do you know what I mean? Like Where the Streets Have No Name, or Still Haven't.
Sunday, bloody
So
Sunday.
yeah, that's it.
Sorry, you started something
no,
now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Partridge now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get on to the next one then. So, who would be your special guest that you guys would duet with? So, you see it at festivals or venues, and they bring someone out to do a cover track. Well, not a cover track, a duet with. Who would that be?
You're up.
Brian Johnson. I'd love to
Oh,
play with Brian
wicked.
Johnson.
That'd be
amazing.
hilarious.
I've
Yeah.
seen him do it as well. I think he did it with Muse at Reading a few
He did,
years
yeah,
ago, and it was
yeah.
just lost my shit.
That was after
just-
he took a sabbatical, didn't he, for a bit because
So,
he had
yeah.
troubles with his hearing or something, and then all of a sudden he just turned up on stage with Muse.
He started playing Back in Black, and I was like, he's got to come on.
That was insane. Yeah.
Didn't you see that Partridge? No, I know this is very
my
Partridge
God.
heavy. I'm sorry, this is very Partridge heavy. But
Mate,
he
there's
came
nothing wrong
on.
with Partridge.
He came on. I'm sure I saw this on Twitter or something. That he came on and done a duet to an ABBA song with.
I think I've seen the same thing as well.
Yeah, who is it with? Who's the
Oh,
band?
was that because of Knowing Me, Knowing You?
Oh.
Yeah, but I can't
No,
remember.
didn't he do that?
Was it
I can't remember who it was,
Was it
who
the
it was
O2?
with. I think it was with the O2, but I can't remember what band it was with. But that came out recently.
That's
But we'll stop
amazing.
talking about Partridge now,
Do you know,
okay?
every Partridge quote that all three of you have done has gone
You need to watch it.
over my head.
Mate, Partridge is amazing.
You need to watch it.
It's just timeless classic.
I learnt last week, was it last week, that you have to pay for your own rider at your gigs. Now, I didn't know this, right? But what would be on your rider, bearing in mind it's your dream gig, you can have whatever you want, what would be, you can have a choice each, what would be on your rider, waiting for you in your dressing room when you arrive at the Royal Albert Hall / Wembley Arena / Reading?
A brandy glass full of brown M&Ms.
I knew you were going to say that.
No, do you know? Have you watched Spinal Tap? You ever seen Spinal Tap?
Haven't seen Spinal Tap. I've got it recorded, but we've always had this Eminem reference, and we couldn't figure out what it was, like blue M&Ms or something. But we couldn't
Yeah.
figure out where it was from.
Well, for the longest time, because of Spinal Tap, I thought that was just really excessive rock bands that's just asking for really silly things.
Yeah.
Because it is a really silly thing to ask for. But what band was it? It was, I'm going to blank on their name now. Like a real kind of like, I want to say like an 80s kind of hair metal band. Was it Van Halen? It might have been.
Right.
And they used to ask, in the contract, it said there has to be a brandy glass full of brown M&Ms in our dressing room before we go on stage. They'd get to the dressing room and there wasn't a brandy glass. So they knew that the promoter had not read the contract properly.
Right, okay.
So they ended up checking, like they would go out and check all the PA system, all the monitors, just everything, because they knew, right, he obviously hasn't read
bothered.
the, you know what I mean? And that's quite
Yeah,
funny.
it's
So,
clever
I'd,
as well.
It is clever,
That's what I'd ask for, yeah.
What about yourself, Cams?
I was just checking that. I think it might have been Ozzy Osbourne.
Ah,
I was just checking because we were talking about it last night and I couldn't remember who it was. I think it was Ozzy Osbourne. one.
Yeah.
For me, a nice gin, a good
nice.
selection of tonic waters,
Beautiful.
and
Maybe Fever Tree.
yeah, I do like Fever Tree.
Wow,
They are good.
Posh tonics.
And I always need painkillers, not because of the gin and tonic. I get migraines, so I always need some painkillers there.
Yeah.
So aspirin, spot on.
Lovely.
And that sort me out.
Cool.
Don't think we've ever had that on there
No.
before.
I was just thinking that must be a right pain in the ass with like stage lights and a migraine.
Yeah. So I have to have like treatments, so they trigger from the neck actually. So they're not. It's not always like alcohol or anything like that. Generally, one of the best things you can do is take aspirin if you feel one coming on.
So gin and aspirin. That's
Gin
what
and
you want.
Sounds like a
Very
great
good.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. No, I've always liked a really good, decent gin and tonic.
Lovely.
There you go. Can't remember what yours was.
Joe, you ask me every week.
That's why I do it. I just put you on the spot.
Still don't have a
Each
clue.
week.
I still don't have a
What
clue.
about yourself? Drunk it.
Yeah, drunk it. Yeah, there was
Nice.
B who was in last week. She said she's worked at a few festivals, and she told us that there was. She didn't tell us the artist, but she did say that
Yeah,
there was an art. What was it? That
a
they had.
certain artist that has to have a specific chair facing the window that looks at the sun or something like
Something
that.
like
wasn't
that.
it? Yeah, a
Yeah,
certain,
that's just
5 PM or
like-
something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
Is that like a religious thing or something? Or?
No, I don't think so. I
No.
think it's
No?
been a dick thing. Like,
I'm so sure I got it right, George Ezra, and she moved on from it so quickly.
oh really?
Oh,
It was my first guess. She went, no. And breezed over. I was like,
I can't. I don't know. Apparently, he's quit music.
good. Again, that's done everyone a favour, hasn't it?
Wow.
Oh, poor George.
Rob Jackson, not a fan.
How do you know he's quit music?
I saw it on one of the radio group chats I'm on earlier, saying he's quit music. But I don't know if it was someone just telling a poor joke about green grass or grass is green or something. I don't know. What would be? Have you had a made it moment yet, or what would it be?
What would it be?
Selling a lot of albums.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? If we sell the albums, if we sell what we've got on vinyl, or what we've come in on vinyl, that would be good. Yeah. To be fair, pretty humble at this stage. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But just we got a stack of our albums to sell, and we want to go out there and work it. Do you know what I mean? And sell those albums because we know we've got something really, really, really good. To be honest. So,
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Get out
I
there.
think for me, like, I don't know about like a made it sort of moment, but I think we were going to talk about this. But last year we partnered up with a local brewery near to us, the Loddon Brewery, and we put on a festival, like a one-day Lodfest. We
Very
put on a
creative.
one-day festival, and that we headlined it at the end of the night, sort of thing. But you know, we booked in this massive stage and stuff like that, and we put all these wicked like local bands on, and some other bands from London that we know as well. And it was such a great day. But playing that gig, we were knackered as well by the end of the day because we'd been hosting the day and everything.
Yeah.
Playing that gig on that stage, just in our local brewery with all our mates, and it was absolutely rammed. That was quite a special one for me.
Yeah,
that was
fair
quite
play.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's coming again next month, right?
Yes, 17th of September. This month, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're not quite there, are we? Yeah.
got some mega London bands again coming down to join us. We've got I don't know if you know like Louis and the Shakes or
Yeah,
the
they're
Pylons.
really good.
Yeah, mate,
Louis
they're
and the
great. They
Shakes.
came down and supported us at some random pub recently in Wokingham, and it was just hilarious. It was a real hilarious sort of night. But yeah, great bunch of lads as well, and yeah, uber talented. And then Pylons, you know Pylons?
Afraid not.
Another great. And a lot of these guys we know through our producer Michael, Michael Smith. So yeah, it's going to be a good day actually.
Yeah, look forward to it. Be a good one.
Where would be your after party after your dream gig?
After party.
I would actually say the brewery. Like, that's an amazing place to have an after
A
show.
lock-in at the brewery.
Obviously not. Yeah. Obviously, maybe not after the festival, but
No.
like that'd be amazing. Yeah,
Oh, I reckon Ronnie Scott's. I reckon.
that's a good shout.
I love that bloody place. Do
that's
you know
a
what I
very
mean?
good
Like
shout,
head to there. Yeah, just everyone comes back to there.
Yeah.
And there's just some incredible like jazz band just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sink down some scotches.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Right. Are we doing in the bin or right
In the bin.
in the bin?
I actually came prepared this week.
Did you?
I actually did, yeah.
I'll sit back, mate.
No.
what's
You,
this?
you
What's
explain
this?
it. Go on. No, you,
All right.
you explain
So
it.
basically, it's like Snog, Marry, Avoid, but for bands and artists, right? So what we do in this bit, we give you 3 artists. You got to gig with them, spend one night with them, right? Tour with them for a year,
Yeah.
marry them essentially, or avoid them, you got to put everything they've ever done in the bin. So it's gig, tour, bin.
So, just hear me out. I've done really well with this one this week. I'm really proud of it.
Smiling.
I know. So your band name is Third Lung. So I'm going body part related.
Oh.
Yeah. You like
Hints of Rob and Ollie.
you like what I've done there. I did do a normal one, but this is fucking much better.
I know who they are.
Hang on, wait. Let's have a think about who they
Oh,
could
I
be
know,
first.
Yeah, where could this go?
Surely one of them.
Bare naked ladies.
Nope.
Shame.
That's all I got.
Elbow.
I got elbow. Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah,
Oh,
but
brilliant.
as you mentioned them earlier, I'm going to take them off the list. Luckily, I came prepared with 4. 4. Yeah. Smash Mouth.
Oh,
Who's that?
Hey now, you're an old star.
right,
That's a song from Shrek, isn't it?
That's the only thing I know. Turn the lights off.
There we go.
Turn the lights off.
So Smash Mouth. All right, we'll take them off. Oh, elbow.
On the back.
Radiohead.
Okay.
Nickelback.
Oh, well.
Yeah?
Well,
So what we got? Elbow.
well done.
Thank you. So Nickelback,
Elbow, and Radiohead.
Okay,
So
well,
gig,
Tough. This is hard.
gig
actually.
tour in the bin.
only because I love the Radiohead and Elbow.
Yeah. So we'll be
Nickelback are, I'm afraid.
I think that's the easiest option.
bin.
I like
I'm a
Nickelback.
little-
I like
got
them.
nothing against them.
I like them, but
And
out
I'm
of the three, it's
sure
the
it would be a
easiest.
great gig and it would be an awesome tour.
We'd have a laugh, a right laugh. But no, Elbow and Radiohead are just so damn good.
So who are you spending a night with and who are you spending a year with, so to speak?
Who are you gonna marry? Do you reckon the Radiohead lads would be a little bit
Too much.
too much
Yeah,
after
I
a while?
think so.
Do you reckon?
Maybe.
Would they'd be a little bit too
Yeah,
much, wouldn't
I
they?
think so.
But you know,
Divorce would be on the cards.
yeah, maybe just one glorious night with those.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
cool. And then we'll marry an Elbow by the looks
Yep.
of it. So, yeah.
Or going on tour with them.
Yeah, or going on tour. Either or, whatever comes first.
Well done, Rob.
Thank you.
That's very
Thank
good.
you.
You set the bar high this week.
I did, yeah. Well, I did have 3 normal bands.
Which are they?
I'll save them for next week.
You saved them.
No, I had
Extra work.
Oh, you're here next week, are you?
no.
There we go.
No, I'm not. All right, fine. You can have the Verve,
Ah, okay.
the Who,
Yeah.
or the Kooks.
I've been listening to the Kooks quite a bit recently, but I think out of the 3 of them, I'd still put them in the bin.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably do gig with Verve
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then go on tour with the Who.
Feel that?
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
I mean, they'd be disappointed being with me for a year, but
I'm going to have to come up with a hard
Right.
one.
Yeah, do they get a say?
no, that's not how this works. Right, we're going to go quick fire quickly, and then we're going to end before you do some tracks for us. We're going to go best gig you've had so far.
Best gig we've had so far.
Lodfest, I think.
Lodfest's good. We did do an O2 support for Wendy James last year, which
Yeah.
was fucking wicked night.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I think I'd still choose Lodfest, actually. I'll nick yours from earlier. I'll go Lodfest myself.
To be fair, Lakefest was good as well.
Oh,
Can't
Lakefest
remember.
was
Quick
good.
fire, Cams, quick fire.
Lakefest. Lakefest.
Lodfest.
See, we're not getting right. Whatever. Get what you play.
agree.
Huh?
You don't want us to agree on any of these, do you? Or do we have to agree?
Oh, are we agreeing? Oh,
Is this
okay,
a united
Lodfest,
front
yeah.
we're trying to present here, is it? Or
All right.
Can if you want.
Well,
well,
fine. Go on then.
no,
That's a
have,
united front, isn't it?
have your Lakefest.
This is like rehearsal. all
Have your
over again.
Lakefest. Go on. Shovel up your Lakefest.
All right. Yeah, Lakefest.
Lakefest.
Right, Lakefest.
What's your guilty pleasure track?
I'm just looking at him because it will be a
More
terrible
guilty. It'll
track.
be
Yeah,
more guilty
yeah,
than
yeah.
yours.
Hey there, you with the sad face, come up to my place and live it up. Live It Up by a band I can't remember. My mum had it on vinyl, and when I was about 9,
Right.
I absolutely loved it.
So
And
an
I
unknown
still
track.
kind of love it. Yeah. No, Live It Up. I just told you. By Mental as Anything. That's what they're called. Is it? Yeah, it's so cheesy, but it's really good.
Oh, okay.
Melody or well, we've already probably touched on this, but melody first or lyrics first?
Usually melody, but often, yeah, melody. I'll go with melody. Yeah.
Worst gig you've had so far,
Oh no, there's so many.
or worst moment?
One man and his dog. It's got to be those sort of gigs.
Mm.
You turn up, especially if you've travelled far So sometimes if we've travelled far and we get to, I can't actually think of any of the names, but
No, worst gig I ever had. I just started singing, so it was like a duck out of water. And I was playing with this covers band, and I was blaring out a bit of Tom Jones, I believe.
Nice.
And just wanted, and in a pub there was just nobody there. No one cared. The band didn't really care either. And I just wanted to shoot myself.
football on in the corner.
Yeah, that's it.
People getting pissed
Like
off.
right beside the pool table.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Someone's like sticking their ass into you while you're trying to sing.
Bogs are right behind you.
Not because of the
Like,
pool, just
Just that
kind
sort
of
of place.
yeah, it was that sort of place.
Can you recommend an artist, like another unsigned or emerging artist?
I'd say Split the Dealer. I'd say we had him play at the first Lodfest, and yeah, he's phenomenal talent. Yeah,
Yeah, he's spot on.
An artist you'd love to see in concert?
Like a
Just anyone.
Anyone.
Yeah. Someone you might not have seen yet, but you would love to, or from history that you would have loved to have seen.
I'd like to see David Gray. I know he did Did he do Royal Albert Hall? I think he did. Didn't manage to get tickets, but something like that, I'd really enjoy. Something like that.
My friend who I mentioned earlier, who was in the car with me and moaned at me for listening to rock and metal and that,
Yeah.
his missus, her mum, went to the Cliffs Pavilion thinking that she was going to see Craig David.
Oh.
It was David Gray.
Oh.
That's quite different.
Oh.
That is quite different.
yeah, that's wicked.
That's pretty much it for that, to be honest. I think we've covered most of it off earlier on. So
Awesome.
Can we give everyone a bit of a reminder about the events you've got coming up and your album release date? Are you releasing a single prior to the album release, or is that the
One
next
more,
thing?
haven't we?
Yeah, the
One
third
more.
single is called No Names, and that's out on the 7th of October. I think I've got that right. And then the album is released on all platforms, vinyl, CD, the works, on the 4th of November. And then we've got the launch show on the 10th of November at Sub 89 in Reading. So get down to that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? I mean, obviously we've got Lodfest.
Yeah,
Don't forget
yeah.
Lodfest on the
Quite a
17th
few
of
bits in and around.
September, and a few like festival dates we're looking forward to. But yeah, those are
Where can people find you on the old socials, websites, all that sort of good stuff?
Yeah, most of it's either like Third Lung UK or Third Lung Band. You know what I mean?
The standard.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
standard.
Bad name
It's
UK.
like, oh, what do you mean Third Lung's gone? What? We've got a Third Lung Band then. Yeah, but yeah, Third Lung Band, Third Lung UK, that kind of vibe.
Good stuff. Robert,
Yes. What do I want to plug?
just what are
do I
you going
wanna
to
plug? I mean,
what other gigs have you guys got coming up? Because
we haven't got any that are announced so far.
Right.
I think there's one, the Chineries potentially,
oh yeah.
in September, end of September, but that hasn't been announced yet. So
Oh okay. Okay, that one. Shush then.
there we go. That could
Otherwise,
be,
people can-
that could be a thing.
That could be a thing.
Other than that, we've got all back end of October onwards. So gigging wise is quite quiet. Off to record new track on Saturday with mutual friend Jack at Pyramid Studios. We should
Yep.
probably
wicked.
give him a shout out.
Can I just do that?
There we go. It's on the back and the front.
Yes, it is.
It's a cool design. That it's a really, it's really cool.
I absolutely love it. It's wicked.
That's why I invited you
Where?
to come along to the recording.
What, Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, when? Wait, I mean, when did you
Well, it's
invite
this
me?
Saturday.
No, I know it's this Saturday, you muppet. I mean, when did you invite
A
me?
couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I see what I'm doing.
That's odd, yeah. What do I want to plug? What do I want to plug?
Noise complaints before 9,
definitely
everywhere
don't-
now.
Yeah, just admissions on Spotify.
Yeah.
Go search Rob and Ollie Radio on Instagram. More importantly, go onto Mixcloud and search Future Hits Radio. Right
aren't you
there.
good?
And click on the Rob and Ollie bit
Oh, right.
and give us a like so we can chart again.
They peaked at number 50 in the comedy charts the other day, so he's been buzzing.
53 in the global comedy charts.
No big deal.
I know, we've told everyone.
I know you have. It's brilliant. If you want to go and find out anything to do with Future Hits, go to futurehits.co.uk. You can upload your music to that and we'll get you on the radio. Also, unsignedmusic.uk. We've got our event coming up on the 29th of September that you guys can get tickets for. And also, we've got about a week left until... What date is this coming out? You've basically got until... This comes out on Monday the 4th of September. So it's literally... You've got today, I think. Oh, no, it's not Monday the 4th. It's Monday the 5th, isn't it? Whatever. I will leave it open on the
Not
Monday.
paid for that. Or at all.
No, to register to be a part of it.
Oh.
Right. So if you want to register to be a part of the event, be the main support or the opener for our gig on the 29th, go to our website, unsignedmusic.uk/events, and you'll have today to register. If it's not today, you've missed out. And you can buy tickets. And we're going to announce who's going to be supporting the great Leslie in the next couple of weeks. And I think that pretty much wraps us up.
It's a quick one, that.
Quick one, what?
Podcast.
There's not.
Is it not? I thought that felt quite short.
No, I think our section was a bit short. The second section was quite long, and then this section's pretty average. I
That was
think
good. I enjoyed
from
that.
a duration perspective.
That was a solid podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm going to put that on the.
Solid.
That was a solid
Solid
podcast.
podcast. That's the tagline.
Solid podcasting.
Do you like solid podcasts? You know where to go.
Good, healthy, solid.
One of your 5 a day. Healthy, solid podcast.
Right, we're going to go now.
say
Thank you very much for coming in, Tom. Cams,
Guys,
third
thanks for having
line.
us. Thank you.
Good luck with the album release and
man.
everything
Appreciate it.
to do like
Thanks so
that.
much,
You
man.
shush.
Podcast a day keeps the doctor away. There you go.
I'm going to turn his mic down now. Right, bye everyone. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching.
The Unsigned Podcast.